Here in this month of Gaura Purnima, I would like to all of us, repeat after me, Panchatattva Maha Mantra. Okay, Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam.
Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam.
Rupa Swarupakam.
Rupa Swarupakam.
Did I share the screen, Prabhu?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm sorry. Let me do one thing so that everybody can see. Let's see. Share. Where is that? Do I have a share option here?
Yes, you do.
Oh, yeah, share screen. Okay, got it. So I went there and then share. Basic. Okay. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Okay. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam.
Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam.
Rupa Swarupakam.
Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam.
Avataram Bhaktakyam.
Avataram Bhaktakyam.
Bhakta Shaktikam.
Namami Bhakta Shaktikam.
Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam.
Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam.
Swarupakam.
Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam.
Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam.
Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam.
Namami Bhakta Shaktikam.
Namami Bhakta Shaktikam.
Hare Krishna. So, this mantra, we are in this week of Gaura Purnima, right? Gaura Purnima is, one of the important festivals in ISKCON, where the appearance of the munificent incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the combination of Radha and Krishna. The desire of the Lord has been fulfilled in this avatar. The desire, God is always beloved, but God has a desire. He wants to see how the devotee feels the ecstatic symptoms being a devotee of the Lord. So that is the reason why, if you're joining Lal Govind Prabhu classes for last 2 days about the Gaur Katha, he's beautifully explaining. Yesterday he's talking about Antardvip, in Navadvip Island, how Antardvip manifested, how Lord Brahma has prayed to Lord Sri Krishna to come in this Kali Yuga, right? And then there is a sambhashan between Lord Brahma and Lord Sri Krishna himself. And Lord Sri Krishna asked him, Brahmaji, I have this desire. I wanted to feel the ecstatic symptoms of Srimati Radha Rani, and I want to feel the symptoms of a devotee. And he's asking Lord Brahmaji. Then Brahma kind of, wait a minute, I belong to Jiva Tattva, you're a Supreme Lord. You're asking me this question? Yes, please. The desire of the God. So God also have a desire to feel the symptoms of a devotee. That is the incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There, of course, are internal reasons and external reasons. So one of the internal reasons is that Lord Sri Krishna wanted to feel his ecstatic symptoms being a devotee of the Lord. And that's why, God also hankering for the love of the Godhead. Can you believe that? How wonderful to hear that kind of Leela. God himself has a desire to feel the symptoms of a devotee. So God is, God is always beloved by devotee, but he doesn't know how the taste of the devotee is feeling ecstatic symptoms of the Lord. So God himself has a desire to become a devotee. So that is the most munificent incarnation of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the combination of Radha and Krishna. It's called Golden Avatar. And this is also one of the munificent incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And because of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, advent of his Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are all here. And also, I was hearing yesterday from Lal Govind Prabhu that once one hears Gaura Katha, when you hear Gaura Katha, you get the benefit of hearing Krishna Katha and Gaur Katha both. But when you just hear Vrindavan pastimes, you don't get Gaur Katha benefits. But when you hear Gaur Katha, you get the benefits of Krishna Katha, Vrindavan pastimes, and also the pastimes of Navadip Dham. How beautiful that is. It means that the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the combination of Radha and Krishna, he gave the full benediction. Whoever interested here, Gaur Katha, they get the benefit of hearing all Vrindavan pastimes plus Gaur Leela pastimes. It's a Vipralamba ball, it's a love in separation. This has that much potential. That's why, this is very auspicious with coming. Very, very munificently, the mercy is available. Okay, now we are going to talk about third chapter, about the senses, about the lust, about the greed, about the anger. Okay, 6 enemies of our body, Kama, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Mascharya. All these enemies of 6 qualities, how we are going to achieve by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya only. By mercy of only Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because he came 500 years back and is called Sankirtanaika Pitarao. He is the father of congregational chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami says that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave access to Goloka Vrindavan. Before Gaur Leela, people didn't have the idea how to go back to Goloka Vrindavan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave access to the back door of Goloka Vrindavan. You can go Goloka Vrindavan and place there. Before that, our knowledge was limited to Vaikuntha planets, etc., etc. But because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy only, we are getting access to know about Goloka Vrindavan pastimes. Okay, so this is how very beautiful Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Next Sunday, not this Sunday, the other Sunday is the Gaur Purnima, and mercy is available everywhere. When we visit Dhams, first we go to Navadip Mayapur Dham, then we go to Vrindavan, because mercy is still available in here. Okay, so having said that, today's shloka is the last shloka of third chapter. Okay, are you able to hear me, everyone?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhu.
Yeah, so in the third chapter, last shloka, very nicely summarizing the whole chapter of third chapter, whole crux, all meaning of third one. Okay, I'll just read the shloka. Please repeat after me if you can. Evam buddhe param buddha.
Evam buddhe
Evam buddhe param
Param
buddha
Buddha
Avyatmanamatmana.
samsthavyatmanatmana
Shadrum Mahabaho.
Jahi Shatru
Mahabaho
Amarupam Durasadam.
Amarupam Durasadam.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada.
Jai.
Please repeat after me. Thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses,
Thus, knowing oneself to be the
transcendental
transcendental to the material senses,
mind and intelligence,
Mind and
means an intelligence.
O mighty armed Arjuna,
O mighty Arjuna,
study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness.
one should
one should be
the
the
mind
by
by deliberate spiritual intelligence.
spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness,
Thus by spiritual strength,
and thus by spiritual strength,
conquer the insatiable enemy known as lust.
Conquer the insatiable enemy known
as lust.
Here, the word insatiable means never satisfied. Never satisfied. Okay. So I'll read just purport and then we'll go to the details. Okay. This third chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is conclusively directive to Krishna consciousness by knowing oneself as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, without considering impersonal voidness and the ultimate end. In the material existence of life, one is certainly influenced by propensities for lust and desire for dominating the resources of material nature. That's called lording over the material nature. Okay, desire for overloading and for sense gratification is the greatest enemy of the conditioned soul. But by the strength of Krishna consciousness, one can control the material senses, the mind, and the intelligence. One may not give up work and prescribed duties all of a sudden, but by gradually developing Krishna consciousness, one can be situated in the transcendental position without being influenced by the material senses and the mind. By steady intelligence directed towards one's pure identity. This is the sum total of this chapter. Look at that, how beautiful. This is the sum total of this chapter. In the immature stage of material existence, philosophical speculations and artificial attempts to control the senses by the so-called practice of yogic postures can never help a man toward spiritual life. He must be trained in Krishna consciousness by higher intelligence. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to the third chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of karma yoga, or the discharge of one's prescribed duties to in Krishna consciousness. So, Prabhupada is so beautifully explaining the purport, how the senses, mind, intelligence, okay, all these things, how they can be used to elevate our consciousness in Krishna consciousness. So for this, what I would do, I will just go to a few shlokas back. Okay, actually, why this question comes? This third chapter is called Karma Yoga. Okay, and that one, because here the Karma Yoga, okay, I think this is bothering me. I should pull this one somewhere else. Yeah. Hold on 1 second here. Okay. Yes. Right. In the third chapter, are you able to see my screen?
No, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
336. Are you able to see 336?
No, we are not able to see.
Okay. Let me do it. Yeah, 336. He said, Arjuna is asking, Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? So this is now, we are all, when we are in not Krishna consciousness, means that we are in this material world with all affected by all these 6 enemies. Okay. And Arjuna is asking how to overcome those 6 enemies, how not to commit any sinful act. The definition of sinful act here means that anything which is not connected to Krishna is a sinful act. Because the sinful act means that anything which is not connected to Krishna means that will bind us back into this world. Yatra not karmano yatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Anything which is not connected to Krishna is a sinful act. Then Arjuna is asking, oh my Lord Sri Krishna, O descendant of Vrishni, what is impelling us to act in this sinful action? Means what is resisting us to accept you are the Supreme Lord, basically. Right? Because we are envious of Krishna. That's why we are here. What is that a factor which is acting, which is making us to act that way? Then Supreme Lord, next shloka very clearly explains. Okay, are you able to see the next shloka also, 3.37?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. He says, Bhagavan, Sri Bhagavan Vacha. He says that the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with a material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. Look at that, lust only, Arjuna. Kama yesha, krodha yesha, right? So rajoguna samudbhava. It is that. Okay, I just want to read few lines here, which gives really very crux of this. When a living entity comes in contact with the material creation, his eternal love for Krishna is transformed into lust. Look at that. In the material world, there is nothing like love. Here, lust is there. Why? Because when the pure love only exists in the spiritual world. When the pure love is contaminated with the 3 modes of material nature, thus transformed into lust. And we are all under these three modes of material nature. So there's no real love exists in this material world. And in association with the mode of passion, or in other words, the sense of love of God becomes transformed into lust, as milk in contact with sour tamarind transformed into yoga. So this is what Lord Sri Krishna is explaining to Arjuna, how this lust has entered into our mind, or this one, our nature, because the original love from spiritual world has been coming to material world, and that love contaminated the three modes of material nature that transformed into lust. Then question comes to Arjuna, how to overcome this lust? And here it says that the Supreme Personality of Godhead explained himself into many of his ever-increasing spiritual bliss, and the living entities are parts and parcels of the spiritual bliss. They also have partial independence. This is called our own free will. By misuse of their independence, when the service attitude is transformed into propensity for sense enjoyment. Here, the whole thing is coming here into consideration. The lust is a factor when these three modes of material nature come in contact with the love that becomes lust. So these three modes of material nature, what are they making us to believe which is not true is true? What is that? There is a shloka in Bhagavad Gita, Kartaham iti manyate, ahankara vibratma, Kartaham iti manyate. It makes you to feel that you are the door of all these things. But in nature, these are carried away with the three modes of material nature. Because of that, we feel that we are the controllers. And then the propensity to enjoy ourselves, when the service attitude is transformed into propensity for sense enjoyment, this is the greatest enemy, sense enjoyment. They come under the sphere of lust. When you want to enjoy your own senses, right, then all this question of the lust comes into picture. And here, this material creation is created by the Lord to give facility to the conditioned souls to fulfill these lustful propensities. And when completely baffled by prolonged lustful activities, baffled means confused by prolonged lustful activities, the living entities begin to inquire about the real position. Then, when you are totally into this material creation, left and right, we enjoy this and that. After getting frustrated with this material world, then we start inquiring, hey, what I am doing? I am not happy, even though I've been doing so many things in my life, but end up that I am not getting the happiness. The happiness, what we are feeling in the material world is just a gap between two miseries. There's no permanent happiness. Then, Atato Brahma Jignasa kicks in. When you enjoy fully materially, okay, this what happened to America in 1960s when Prabhupada came. They had a Vietnam War, and that's the best economy of America in 60s, 65s. They had everything. Each house has 4 cars, okay, and each house has enough jobs they have. They're totally materially very much satisfied. And when you are really very much satisfied materially, then the frustration begins. Hey, what is next? What is next? But that shows that when you are materially opulent also, that doesn't give the permanent happiness. Because money and all these things, they don't give permanent happiness. And that happened to America in 60s. They had everything full. Then they started getting all hippies. Hippies came out of hippies are all rich families. People came from hippies. Why? Because they're frustrated by their material opulences. They had enough of everything. But the real happiness didn't have. Why? Because they did not have connection to the Supreme Lord. The real happiness of living entities lies when you satisfy the senses of the Lord. They're satisfying their own senses materially. But this Adanta Gobir, we keep on satisfying our senses, but there's no real happiness. That is what Arjuna Krishna explaining here. When living entity with the given minute independence, when you try to satisfy your senses, there's no real happiness exist. That is basically love of God doesn't exist. You are satisfying your senses, keep on being frustrated end of the day. Okay, and here, yeah. So then the Atata Brahma Jignasa starts, hey, I have so much, why I am not really happy? That is what, when Prabhupada came, All the hippies joined with Prabhupada because Prabhupada gave a love, the taste, the sample of love of Godhead. Okay, and after that, I will go to, so that's one of the reasons here. Then we'll go to 337, which, 343. And before 343, in 2 slokas, Krishna, Prabhupada summarizes so nicely 341. He gives very nicely here, says that if you look at this here, therefore, O Arjuna, best of the Bharatas, in the beginning, the very beginning of curb of this great symbol of sin, by regulating senses and slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-relation. So you detect that what is the reason for the lust? Lust is because we are not regulating our senses. What is the meaning of regulating senses? Regulating senses means, Rupa Goswami explains very clearly that shloka, when you try to satisfy the senses of Krishna, Rishikeshena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. What is Anavastha Vishayan? So I forgot the first 2 lines. So basically, when you try to satisfy the senses of Lord Sri Krishna, your senses get satisfied. But we are trying to satisfy our own senses, curb this great symbol of sin by regulating the senses. Regulating senses means that you try to regulate your senses. So in the way that you make sure you connect to Krishna and try to satisfy the senses of Krishna. That's the meaning of regulating senses. Okay, then you start realizing about that is where the destroyer of the knowledge and self-realization, who I am, Atato Brahma Jignasa, everything kicks in. Okay, then this says, now if you look at here, lust is only perverted reflection of love of God, which is natural for every living entity. We are all lustful in this material world. Okay, why? Because the real love converts into lust because of the modes of material nature. Because of material nature, we are getting confused and we don't know who you are. We don't know what needs to be done and how to engage your senses. All these things kicks in. But if one is educated, this is the knowledge. See, jnana, vijnana. Prabhupada writes, jnana means knowing about ourselves, who we are, what is our relationship. Vijnana means knowing about the Supreme Lord. So jnana, vijnana is a place where we start inquiring about who I am, what is why I have come here, what is my duty, what is my responsibility, what I was there before, okay, where I am going to after my death. All this Hatha Brahma Jignasa kicks in. But if one is educated in Krishna consciousness, from the very beginning, the natural love of God cannot deteriorate into lust. When love of God deteriorates into lust, it's very difficult to return to the normal condition. Nonetheless, Krishna consciousness is so powerful that even a late beginner can become a lover of God by following regulative principles of devotional service. Here, the 2nd chapter, regulative principles. What are the regulative principles? Prabhupada has nicely mentioned. In the 2nd chapter, Krishna says, Atma vaschair videyatma prasadam adhigacchati. Atma vaschair videyatma. Atma vaschair means following the 4 regulative principles. Okay, and videyatma, following the regular principles and also engaging the senses in the proper way. These 2 are very important. Prasadam adhigacchati, you get the mercy of the Lord. Why? Engaging the senses and following the 4 regulative principles. Okay, so for any stage of life or from the time of understanding its urgency, one can begin regulating the senses in Krishna consciousness, devotional service of the Lord, and turn lust into love of Godhead, the highest perfectional stage of human life. This is what we are missing. We are all conditioned here. We are all in lustful by, we are not completely have love of God. We are all, the lust varies from percentage to the devotees, even devotees, okay? Because as lustful reaction, as lust reduces slowly, we go towards love of God here. But we are not there yet. As in the bhakti process, we have another nivritti is the greatest stage of one's devotee's life. Another nivritti. Sadhu Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Tada Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, another nivritti. We have all unwanted desires. These unwanted desires are basically lust. They are born out of lust. What unwanted desires? I want to be the controller. I want to lord over the material nature. I want to be a master. Okay, in the material world, everybody wants to be a master. I want to become his boss. I want to be in the top position. I can control other folks, etc. But if you go to spiritual creation, if we want to be a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant, as you go lower and lower servant of the servant, you get more and more mercy. Example, Prabhupada is our grandfather, okay? And his sons are our spiritual masters. And we get more mercy from Prabhupada than spiritual masters. Why? Always grandkids have more mercy from grandfather than directly to his sons. And our kids will have more mercy from his divine grace. Why? Because they're the grandkids of grandkids. They get more mercy. That as we go lower and lower and lower in the spiritual hierarchy, servant of the servant of servant, you get more and more and more mercy. It is totally other way around the material creation. Okay, and the next shloka here, Prabhupada writes so nicely about senses, how to control the senses. Talks about higher intelligence, mind, okay, and how soul, mind, okay, then senses, soul, intelligence, mind, and senses, how they are interrelated. What's hierarchical position of those senses? How senses is, see, the senses means the real action in the material world will happen with our senses. How these senses have to be controlled? The senses have to be given a proper knowledge from the mind. How that is done? We read Bhagavad Gita every day, Bhagavatam every day, so that we apply a proper knowledge, supply proper knowledge to the mind. The mind is equipped with the proper knowledge and senses acts accordingly. But mind is not the whole. Yes, about the mind we have intelligence, and above intelligence we have soul. The soul is the crux of it. The soul, when we think that soul is a part and parcel of Lord Sri Krishna, right? When the soul is a Jivere Swarupari Krishna Nityadas. That is the basic tenet of whole Bhaktivinoda Thakur book called Jaiva Dharma. He writes whole book on Jaiva Dharma. Jaiva Dharma means what is the Dharma of living entity? That is, Dharma of living entity is we are part and parcel of Lord Sri Krishna. Our eternal duty to serve him. Serve him. That is the what you call intrinsic property of the soul. Every object has intrinsic properties. The intrinsic property of the soul is to serve the Supreme Lord. And how to serve the Supreme Lord? Hierarchical position. Okay, we know that we are part and parcel of Lord Sri Krishna. Then what? Then intelligence directs the mind. Hey, mind. We should equip your mind with knowledge by reading Shastra every day, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Thanks to the Simesh Prabhu and Amritandra Prabhu, all the devotees, senior devotees in New Jersey, conducting these classes so that we can engage our mind properly. When the mind is engaged properly, automatically then senses becomes under control. That is what we are talking about. Sense control. It doesn't happen just in the flow, because the minute independence given to us, we wanted to enjoy. Even in the devotee, I'm not saying I'm a great super devotee. Even I have that quality. We all have that. In the whether in the percentage varies as you elevate your consciousness, the enjoying propensity. We all have that enjoying propensity. I want to be the master. I want to be the control. I want to be a good speaker. When I speak, everybody has to appreciate me. Even that desire also is a lust. Oh, I want to be a good speaker. I can speak good Bhagavatam. I can speak good Bhagavad Gita. Even among the devotees also we have this lust factor. So it's a lesson for everyone, devotees, not devotees. We are all, in this material world, and anybody can, either you're liberated state or conditioned state, we have to learn to be humble. Humble and humility is the only two qualities which attracts Krishna. The moment you become a proud, it doesn't matter. You're a highly elevated super devotee, you can fall down. So either liberated state or conditioned state, we have to be humble. Oh, now I became an initiator, second initiator, I can do whatever I want to do. No, one of the 10 offenses of the Lord Sri Krishna says that, we cannot take the advantage of Shastra and behave the way you want it. It's offense to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. right? So these are the ones. And this third chapter is summarizing as a, in the second chapter, Krishna talks about soul, Sankhya philosophy, everything theoretical. And Krishna says, Arjuna says, Mr. Krishna, I am a Grohastha. I have wife and kids. Tell me possibly what I can do with my senses. You're talking about Atma, this one, that one. There are high bounces for me. I am not that intelligent, Krishna. Please tell me simply, as a Grohastha with my wife and kids, what I can do for you. Then whole third chapter manifests Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, everything for the sake of Krishna. Param drishtva nivartate. Actually, I quoted that also. Vishayami nivartante niraharasya dehina. Rasavarjam rasobhyasya param drishtva nivartate. Develop your consciousness with a higher taste for Krishna, then you give up the lower taste automatically. If you ask me now to watch a movie in television, I cannot do it, folks. Even though the best movie, sometimes my kids ask, can we watch? I said, you guys watch, I'm not going to watch movie. What I'm saying is that when you have a taste for Krishna, I can hear Lal Govind Prabhu Katha 3 hours. I have no problem. Yesterday I was, it went until 11:45. I'm enjoying, I'm laughing when he's giving Gaur Katha. I have no problem. But if you ask me to watch for any movie, I can probably watch for 20-30 minutes. I get bored. What is this story, man? How love story, this one, that one, somebody loving somebody, blah, blah, all these things. What I'm saying is, when higher taste is given, param drishtva nivartate, we give up lower taste. So that is what Krishna conscious. So by controlling the Atma vaschar videyatma prasadam adhigacchati, controlling the senses, following the scriptures is the only way we can control our senses and supply proper knowledge to the mind. This is recommended. Reading Shastra every day. Why? Because we are entangled in these 3 modes of material nature. Maya is so powerful. Maya is fighting with Krishna. I will win over Krishna. She challenges with Krishna. I am the strongest. But we should defeat Maya by surrendering to Krishna, to Shastra, through the scriptures, association of the devotees, okay, and reading Shastra, and all these things. And at the same time, I would like to quote one shloka from Bhagavatam. The shloka is that, Durlabho manusho deho, dehi nam kshanabhanguram, tatrabi durlabham vanye, vaikunta priyadarshanam. Folks, Durlabho manusho deho, very, very rare to get this human form of life. And whoever came to Prabhupada mission, you're all great Mahatmas. You might have done a lot of Ashwamedha yagas in the previous lifetimes. Then only you get Krishna Bhakti. What is that? Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapajyate vasudevam sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. But after taking many, many, many lifetimes, one will be convinced that Vishnu is the ultimate. Otherwise, it's not possible. You go and teach 10 people outside, not even one person come to Krishna Bhakti. Why? Because it's very rare to get Krishna Bhakti. And also it's rare to get Manava Janma after 8.4 million species of lifetimes. Durlabho Manusho Deho. And at the same time, risk is there. Dehi Nam Kshanabhanguram. This body can be left at any moment, folks. I told last time my classmate, he's just 53, 54 years. He left his body while doing yoga asanas. I'm just telling, this body can be left at any moment. And rarer than that, tatrabi durlabham manye, rarer than that, Vaikunta Priyadarshanam, serving the pure devotee of the Lord. My spiritual master came last Saturday to our home. We invited for lunch. Maharaj came. We had such a wonderful pastime. Maharaj gave a class. And so what I'm saying is, we should learn Vaishnavas. Every household has to follow 3. Prahlad Maharaj tells his father, Hiranyakashipu, Tasadu manye hasuravarya dehinam. Sada samaputam Gahavata Patma Himandakupam Vanam Gatoyet Haryasravet. He says, oh my dear daddy Rakshasa, you are thinking this Andakupa, your house is a big Andakupa, like a blind well. In the blind well, we have scorpions, snakes biting each other. A house which is not worshipped by Vishnu, which is not worshipped for Vishnu, Bhakti, that house is like a Handakupam. What is a Vaikunta and Kunta? Kunta is miseries. Vaikunta. Each house have to have 3 things done: visiting, inviting Vaishnavas, reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and the basic immunity is offering prasadam to Radha Govinda, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lakshmi Narayana, Sita Ram. These are the things we have to develop. Each house becomes Vaikuntha, and we don't have to worry about our senses being engaged somewhere else. We engage our senses. Prabhupada has given us a wonderful process offering prasadam. Everything is a devotional service, folks. Don't think, oh, I'm cooking. And last Saturday, Bhakta Shravan Mataji telling, I am always feel so sad when I am cooking prasadam, I don't do puja. I said, you're cooking prasadam also puja. Because Rupa Goswami, what is the definition of devotional service? Engaging your senses for the Supreme Lord. You are engaging your intelligence, cooking Krishna. That is the puja. You don't have to feel bad. I am not sitting in front of God doing puja. No, cooking itself is a puja. Okay, and offering itself is a puja. Thinking about Krishna is a puja. Taking your family is also a puja. That is what Prabhupada taught us so nicely, very nicely. Okay, so finally, this is what we have to do. Shravanam, Kirtanam, okay, and engaging, associating with the devotees and engaging our senses. Our mind has to be fed with proper knowledge. Mind is the central hub, central location for the desires. When those desires are tamed with the proper Shastric knowledge, with association with the devotees, then senses act accordingly. Okay, I'll stop here. I would welcome any reflections or any additions or any more suggestions here. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Are you guys with me still? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Are you able to hear me, Prabhu? Sorry, I'm talking at the mute.
No, I think we all are able to hear.
Okay, that's nice to hear. Okay, anybody has any comments or anything to share, please? Anybody wants to add anything here? Amritananda Prabhu, Simeshwar Prabhu, all the elevated Vaishnavas, please. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Oh, Subal Prabhu.
Hare Bol. Yeah.
Hare Bol.
I just want to use. I was just thinking about something you said. Like you said about about I want to be a good speaker. That's lust. But isn't that important that you be a good speaker so that others can understand? So we can spread the message of Krishna.
Absolutely, but thinking I'm a good speaker is not right thing. Yes, I'm a good speaker, but taking pride in that is not the one we are supposed to do.
Because you want to be speaking, you want to speak nicely so that others are able to pay attention to what you're saying, and and then you can get your message across. So
absolutely, the mood is important. The mood is, hey, I want to speak so that everybody gets benefit. Our mood is that I should be glorified when I spoke. There's a mood is different. You got the point, right, Prabhu?
Oh yeah, so yes, okay, Prabhu.
The mood. Later you feel, oh, I'm
is
a
good.
speaker.
Appreciation is good, but we should not take the pride of
Yes.
That's what is.
Yes, absolutely.
Endeavoring for becoming a good speaker is good.
Yes.
Yes, that's not my question. So we should endeavor.
Is good.
That's
but
what I'm.
When we appreciate, like Krishna says that, right, in both time, whether it is a good or bad, whether it is in a, when somebody appreciates, somebody depreciate, it should be steady in that all conditions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying. That's good, actually. It's a good question. Yeah.
Hare Krishna,
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dhanavad Prabhu. This is Ajay.
Ajay Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Connected question. I think, like even Arjuna wanted to become the best archer, right? So, but
yes,
that's not. Yeah, that's not luck.
Right. He want to become an archer so that he can serve Krishna. Right. Not for his own enjoyment.
But
Of course,
initially, when he was a child, his only aim was to become the best archer, not to serve Krishna.
Right.
He did the war for sake of Krishna, but learning to become a best archer, I think he did only to become a best archer?
Right, that purifies later. First, the idea starts with that, but as we grow up, as we get more God conscious, that desire purifies for the service of the Lord. Right. Yeah. Even when we start, any learning shlokas, we feel proud ourselves. Oh, I can by heart this many shlokas. That is fine, but we should not stuck there. Later, that has to translate service to Krishna. That is the mode we should go forward.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, wonderful. Devotees, any other reflections, questions, comments? This
Hare Krishna,
forum is,
Prabhuji.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, then the pranam all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, I wanted, you mentioned that pure love is beyond the mode of material nature, like 3 modes of material nature.
Yes.
Right? So I am trying to think like how love, pure love or love in the mode of goodness gets adulterated. I mean, I can think of other things where in mode of goodness, a devotee or a person does something, pride sets in or something else, some other examples similar to that. But how is love in the mode of goodness could be adulterating? Like, why would that not be pure love?
Because the Krishna, okay, let me put Krishna is adokshaja, means Krishna is beyond these 3 modes of material nature. Even mode of goodness is only a launching pad for the devotional practice, but that's not our motto. Even mode of goodness also is not a pure consciousness. Shuddham Vishuddham Vasudeva Tattvam. There is a Shuddha Tattva beyond mode of goodness. That is where there is no action of modes. That is Shuddha Tattva. That is where pure love exists. Even in the mode of goodness, I would say, I would put this way, 90% of, the percentage varies. In the mode of ignorance, passion, more lustful actions. When you come to mode of goodness, purificatory process is there, but it's not pure yet. Only the pure love exists only beyond these 3 modes of material nature. But for us, at least to begin with mode of goodness, that is fine. We can think that is pure love, but that's not also pure love. Still, there is a element of lust is there in the mode of goodness also. Our job is, we are not even looking for mode of goodness. We are looking for beyond mode of goodness, because starting from Vaikuntha planets, all are Shuddha Sattvas. There's no effect of modes of material nature. Is that clear, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
But we start from mode of goodness. That is fine. That's a starting point. That's a launching pad.
Yeah, I was just trying to understand as much as I could absorb it. Like what could be the difference between the love and mode of goodness versus the love and beyond the mode of goodness. I mean,
Yes.
how would just trying to
that is
imbibe that
pure
feeling.
love. Prabhupada writes, pure love of Godhead means that is beyond mode of goodness. Okay, and we don't have to be too much mind boggled by mode of, but at least we can our sadhana starts from depending on the situation, where at least in the mode of goodness, when you practice bhakti, that will transcend us later slowly to the beyond mode of goodness. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thanks. Any more questions or any more reflections? Where is Amritananda Prabhu? Oh, he's there. Hey, Eddie, I see.
There. Deeply meditating on the Supreme Lord, Murdananda Prabhu, in trance.
Yeah, you are so fortunate you can do that.
Actually trying to figure out how to make my PC and my cell phone work. On my PC, the microphone doesn't work, and on the cell phone, the camera is. I'm making 2 devices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The laptop works, right?
Yeah.
laptop works, right?
So anyone else on the call, please, it's a discussion, folks. It's not a group discussion. We're all discussing together. And I'm sure you all have better experience than we do. We're all sharing here. It's a common platform for us to share the knowledge.
This what it is.
I can share.
Just for go ahead,
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for wonderful class. Always hearing from different devotees. Everyone has different realization. So nice, Prabhuji. I just wanted to thank everyone for such a nice congregation. Every day we are getting nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So thank you so much. And Prabhuji, if you watch, like if you are going for Lal Govind Katha, Lal Govind Prabhuji's Katha, so now the Mayapur Yatra is going on now.
Yes.
Just
my wife she's always, for every class she's there. I am depending on my schedule work, but I try to join 80%. Last 2 days I'm visiting Gaurkatha. I'm enjoying my
Yes.
It's so beautiful.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hari Bol.
I can share
go ahead.
on this thing about love. What is the love here in the material world, and what is the love in the spiritual world? What my Guru Maharaj Radhanath Swami has said, in the material world, the closest what one can experience the love of spiritual world, which once upon a time we all were, the closest one can come is that which a mother has for her child. Even that has a tinge of little additive, but it's the closest in the material world that a mother has for her child. Not the child for the mother, but the mother has for her child. It comes closest to what is unconditional, unmotivated, and uninterrupted. So that's what is there in the spiritual world. These three. It is these three which is there in spiritual world, and only mother is capable of that to a certain extent in the material world. And in the material world, everything else is kind of lust. When we say lust is, I am in the center. So in the mode of ignorance, that center is very strong. Everything that you're doing is for myself. So even if we love our child, we are loving a child because it is my child. That me, I'm there. We're not loving the child for the sake of the child. And that's why they say eventually everyone rises to their level of disappointment. So we expect our children to be like this, that, whatever it may be. Child is just an example. As long as the child is meeting the criteria, it's well and good. But the moment the child starts going astray, at that point, it becomes really very difficult. So that's what the love is. But love by itself still is in the mode of goodness as compared to hate and envy and anger and other feelings that we all have. So that was the explanation Maharaj had given about love in the spiritual and the love that we experience over here.
Thank you for sharing, Prabhu.
Prabhupada mentioned further on that we don't see pure love in this material world. We can't see it. What we see in this world is a perverted reflection of the pure love. So that becomes, when it comes to the material world, that becomes the lust. So that means we feel that, we think that it's pure love, that unconditional everything, but it's not reality. It's a reflection of that, just a reflection of that, the pure love. There are so many examples given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why the gopis are so great. The love of the gopis, unconditional, that becomes so great because of their love for Krishna. Can you imagine that they all have their family, They all have their children, husband, but they have such a love for Krishna. Krishna even wanted to send them back every time when they come to Krishna. They don't want to go back. That is in the Paragiya Bhav, beyond our perception. Also, there is a story of Krishna wanted to understand, and it was Narada Dev. Narada Dev thought that I am the greatest devotee of the Lord. And Narada came and asked Krishna, Lord, I am your greatest devotee. Krishna didn't give much good response to that and said, you just go and find out who is the, greatest devotee of the Lord. And Krishna said, I am getting headache.
Okay.
So I need dust of the pure devotees' feet. Went to Brahma, went to Indra, went to even to the wives of Krishna, queens of Krishna. They all thought that if I take the dust and put it on the Lord's God's forehead, I will go to heaven. I will go to hell. I'll go and suffer. So they all hesitate. No. I don't want to put my dust on Krishna's forehead to eradicate his headache. I'm going to go to hell. So Narada was going around all the people. Finally came to gopis in Vrindavan. They heard Krishna has a headache, and the remedy is the dust from the lotus feet of any devotees. They immediately scratched to collect the dust from their feet and gave it to Narada. Narada said, what are you doing? You all will go to hell. You go and all suffer. Can you do this? How is it possible that you can put your own dust on the forehead of Krishna? Yes, we know that. We are ready to go to hell, ready to go and suffer anything. But if Krishna get cured with this, we are happy. They were cursing Brahma. They said, why? What kind of creator the Brahma is? My eyelids are actually always, kind of closing, and I can't see Krishna. They will faint even that they hear that, oh, Krishna is not there, they will faint down. Who has such love? Who can have such love? That's a pure love, unconditional. That we don't see in this material world. We cannot see, and we cannot, that's what we are practicing. Coming out of all our clutches, all our attachment, our impurities, lust, anger, greed, envy, and jealousy, and competitions, and so many things. These are the reflections of that. Love is in a various forms, like 1,100 fangs of the snake. Same snake, but has different hoods. The love is manifested in the world in so many ways. So by Krishna, when he plays on the hoods of, that's representing the Kaliya Mardana. When Krishna plays on these hoods, all will subdue. Everything will go and subdue. And then we all can be, come out of these anarthas. So we need to bring Krishna into our hoods of these various anarthas and let Krishna plays on it. Krishna put his beautiful lotus feet, and then only we can come out of it. Otherwise, it's very difficult to come to that state. Yep.
Thanks for sharing, Ravi. Nice stories. Yeah, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Simeshwar Prabhuji. I have one question. Where is Nagar Sankirtan this week now?
Oak Tree Road on Sabzi Mandi.
Oak Tree Road only, and with 12 o'clock, right, Prabhuji?
Sunday 12 o'clock, yes.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, just we'll send out the details, the notes.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone else on the call would like to share anything?
Prabhu, logistics, is Romapad Swami Maharaj doing class tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yes. Let me tell you the logistics. I was just 1 minute. Yeah, okay. So Maharaj is going to speak tomorrow, Friday, March 19th evening, 7 p.m. and by the Zoom, and we'll send out the Zoom details. And then Saturday evening time, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Maharaj is speaking, and that is also our Zoom, and we'll send out the Zoom details. Then Sunday evening. Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Sunday, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Then in between, there are few Maharaj conducts in the like a home program. Sunday, March 21st, in a very limited guest.
Stream it?
Hmm?
Will they stream it on Zoom or something?
I don't
Maharaj
think
home program.
maybe a private, maybe.
Okay.
Devotees home, maybe for lunch or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I would humbly request devotees to join on Sunday, 12 o'clock for Nagara Sankirtan, part of our Gaura Purnima festival. Request all of you please join. So nice. Last week it was so ecstatic, so nice. So many people benefited. And we got few number contacts to add. We added them for this class, this Saturday class, sorry, this Bhagavad Gita class. So we are putting down our plans so that everybody can, part of it, and it will be very helpful for other people, for the new people, those who are, suffering with so many other anarthas. Thank you so much. Anything else? Anybody else wants to add?
Yes, Simeshwar Prabhu. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. There is a link that the devotee need to register for attending the Sunday program at the temple on 28th. So everybody needs to do that.
Correct. So the plan is, yes, still we are cautious of the COVID. So we don't want everybody together at a time at the temple. So it's a 4 to 7 p.m. program and 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7. So 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour slot like we did for the Govardhan Puja. So devotees can pick that which slots you would like to come so that we actually scattered the crowd in 3 hours, we span across. That way we can minimize. Sorry, please.
Sorry, I just wanted to say something about the Gaur Purnima celebration. I mean, sorry to interrupt you. Please finish.
Yes, so that is the one thing. Second thing, there are devotees here. We have a Shiksha program. There is a Vow Shiksha program every Gaur Purnima. So we collect the names. So if you can, please send it to me. That if you would like to chant or take a vow on the Gaur Purnima day, that I would chant 1 round or I would chant 2 rounds. If somebody is already chanting 2 rounds, says, let me take this, dedicate and determination that I would chant 4 rounds now. We chant 4 rounds. Yeah, let me try maybe more, some more, maybe 2 more rounds, maybe 6 or maybe 4 more rounds. So we say, we initially says that as Sevaka and Sadhaka, Gauranga Sadhaka, that means on the name of Lord Gauranga and Prabhupada Asraya, then Guru Asraya, likes that the category of, then we also provide the certificate to them from the temple that Gauranga Sadhaka, he's a Sadhaka, and Sadhaka means one who practicing, and he became an Adhikari. He is a Adhikari of chanting the holy name. He's become Adhikari of, that means you are establishing a relationship with the Lord. So naturally, you get purified by this Adhikar. So you get this Adhikar, become an Adhikari. So even if you chant 1 round, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 8 rounds, so then we progress from there. But this is the first step in your life that you can take, so that we connect with the Guru Parampara. So please send if anybody would like to do that on Gaura Purnima. We are planning that either on the Zoom call or in the temple. Then devotees can take this vow. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, I just wanted to say it's very, very important, though we're doing staggered is an extremely smart thing to have the crowd staggered in 3-4 time slots.
Yeah.
But very important is about COVID. Just to share with you something personal, in the past 2 days, 6 relatives of mine from the age group of 30 to 85 have contracted COVID. And the eldest, who's my father's youngest brother, the doctors say we don't think he'll pull through tonight or maybe tomorrow because of his age and ventilator and all that. And also very importantly, my cousin brother and his wife, they are in their 60s. They both took the COVID shot, the vaccination, and still contracted COVID. So their son, then from my mother's side, my cousin, her mother, and they have been taking precautions and whatever else is necessary. So it's a very, very serious matter. The idea of having a mask, double mask, is what is said. You have the paper surgical mask, what they call, and on top of that you put the cloth mask. And I can't stress enough that even if it slips down, it should become automatically a reflex action, because the mask only the mask is actually to protect the other person, not so much as yourself. The mask, all it does is, when we're breathing, suppose God forbid you have COVID, you could be asymptomatic, no fever, no symptoms. There is something called that number of virus particles which go out with a breath or coughing or speaking, and how far it travels. So the quantity and distance that it travels. The mask helps it remain only in that much, and only a few of those will go out. So if you wear a mask, I wear a mask. If you put a double mask, then it gives a better fit. And you want to take it one level further, also you get that thing, what they call it, face shield.
Yeah.
So it is something which is very, very serious. Everyone has the desire to worship. Everyone has the desire to do seva, which is great, but not in a manner which should put another devotees. Literally, we are playing Russian roulette. And all it requires is just sensible care. Otherwise, the devotee gets hurt, and end of the day, the deities get hurt. Because if devotees start falling ill, there's no one to do deity service. So if anyone has had vaccine, don't be under the illusion that now I'm safe. All it has done is build up your immune, but you could still be infected and infect others. It may not hurt you that much, but it could be damaging for somebody else. So, and everyone's, please spread it in your family, your friends, your office, to be very, very careful with COVID precaution. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Thank you so much for that. Beautiful advice. Yeah, everybody should be, don't take it easy. Very dangerous. Who knows our capacity, immunity. Always wear the mask wherever you go out, even if you have the vaccination.
One Prabhu said, Krishna will protect. Krishna will protect. And I was just reading today, Prabhupada, one devotee had written one poem, Prabhupada's disciple, and he sent it to Prabhupada. And in that poem, he said that, oh, my little Gopal will come dancing. Please come dancing to me. Oh, my little Gopal, something. Oh, little Gopal, please come dancing to me. So Prabhupada chastised him heavily. He said, Gopal is not your father's servant to come dancing when you call him. You are meant to be serving Gopal. What is this nonsense poetry that you're writing? That? So similarly, when we say Krishna will take care of me, it is, we are asking Krishna to do service for us rather than us serving Krishna.
Wonderful.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I don't mean to this, but it's something really, really important.
And more important, well, we can take care of ourselves, then yes, I think you definitely have a point. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. And please register as well. And so as we always be cautious, that's what we are also doing. Even if we go out for Nagara Sankirtan, we wear and we completely and keep the social distancing. It's not that we interact with the people, we keep a table, but we all can be in open space. It's more safe and don't too much, but whoever wants, they can come and take the books and other things. But still it is, more safe and so good. Okay, so let's then, there is nothing else. Please, let's conclude. Pay our obeisance to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Vancha kalpatarubhasya
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavavrinda ki jai.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Jai.
So I forgot that we will be having a meeting, the Sankirtan meeting on Saturday, maybe we'll 4 to 6 or something, 4 to 5 or 5 to 6. I'll send the details out. Everybody please join. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu.
Jai.